right, welcome back, everybody. It is the Tim Conway Jr. Show live at 97.1 FM Talk. Look at this. Huge crowd out here enjoying themselves. Frank Kramer joins us. Frank Kramer here.
Yes, I'm still here.
And you can also enjoy yourself a burger here. Has everybody had a burger? You can slide down here towards the end and, give a couple of bucks. They'll give you a burger.
They put cheese on these.
Yes. And from the John and Jeff Show, Jeff, everybody.
What's up?
Yes, dude. Look at you, fellas. And you guys going to be out here tomorrow?
Yeah, we're here tomorrow.
All day, huh?
Doing it over, yeah.
All right, all day tomorrow. And are you open on Sunday as well or just Saturday?
Just tomorrow.
Just tomorrow,
Yeah, there'll
okay.
be people here all weekend, though, collecting food.
Fantastic.
Are you doing your shift here tonight?
No.
No, it's not your shift tonight, right?
Yeah, we're off tonight.
Who does your shift tonight?
Oh, Sam Phillips is on at 11 o'clock. I think she'll be back at the studio,
Oh,
right?
back to
Yeah.
studio? All right.
Okay. All right, let's talk to Chris here in Simi Valley on line 3. You're on 97.1 FM Talk. How are you?
Hey, what's up, guys? How's it
Hey,
going?
just sitting here at Smart and Final, 405 and Pico.
Hey, I just wanted to say, Frank was talking smack about the big girls. I love them, and I'm not alone. Some of the biggest dating websites are, CupidFinder.com and stuff. For these big girls, and
No, I wasn't talking smack. I said big girls are fantastic in that way.
What's
you were
Puker
trashing them
Finder?
out, dude. You're trashing them out, big girls.
Well, yeah, I'm making jokes. That's what I do. But I said don't knock a big girl because they're fun.
He was
Yes.
laying out compliments to a 700-pounder. He was,
Yeah.
yeah.
Hey,
Big girls.
She's big.
Big girls are the best, and they're totally cool. These skinny chicks, man, they got attitude. They're throwing attitude around like it's a basketball, bro. I'm done with it, man. Big chubby girls, she's cool. Take her to the beach,
Yeah.
hang out
Skinny
with her.
girls are like making love to teak furniture.
Oops, I'm sorry I broke you. Oh, man, you got some Elmer's glue?
Hey, Chris, how big have you gone?
Actually, the biggest girl I've ever been with, I didn't do anything with her, but I met her on Craigslist, and I went and picked her up somewhere on Olympic at her house, and she got in my car, and she had to be over 400 because I could hear the bolts to my car.
Oh, that's great.
Where did you take
Big girl.
Oh, there he goes. All right, that seems like a lot. 400 pounds seems like a lot.
Bottomed out that side of the car.
There's a lot of pressure.
I like that he calls up. He says, no, the two calls, no, that big girls aren't always desperate, that they're the same as skinny girls. Where'd you meet her? On Craigslist, and I picked her up at Olympic.
That doesn't sound desperate.
Yeah, no. She was, it's like every girl in the world is on Craigslist. You just drive by an Olympic and pick her ass up and throw her in the car. All right, let's talk to John and Ventura on line 4. You're on 97.1 FM Talk. How are you?
Hey, Tim, how's it going?
Hey, good.
And Frank and John or Jeff, whoever's still there.
John is here. Jeff is here.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm usually one of those guys, podcasts at work, so it's kind of odd getting to actually talk to anyone in real time here. It's weird. But I got a challenge for you guys. I'm thinking, it's a Friday evening, and people are always wondering, what Frosty's actually up to on the weekend. And Frank's been promising us for, weeks now that he's going to call Frosty.
Let's call him.
All right, let's call it.
But
That's a
that's
good
what
idea.
I'm saying. Why not give him a call and find out?
Yeah.
You have his cell number and his home number, right?
I have his home number, yeah.
You have his home number? Hey, Randy, can you get his Frosty's home number from Frank?
And I hope he doesn't answer because his message is pathetic.
Oh, we got to hear it.
All right, John, thanks for calling. Great idea.
Yeah, thank you.
We're gonna call Frosty at home and see what he's doing. And again, Frank has known him for 23 years, and he's never been with a chick. Not one.
Or a man.
Or a man. Never been with a guy.
Ever?
Well, never gave me the impression that he's met somebody that he's interested in. Never said, I went on a date last night. Oh, how'd it go, buddy?
Right.
Nothing like that. There's never been that part of his life.
And he would share that with you, though, right?
Of course.
Wow.
I know everything else about the guy. I met his family. I met his racist dad and his slutty mom. And
well, that might be the problem.
I met them all.
Wow. That is some drought, though. 23 years.
I mean, talking about saving yourself, that's...
23 years, man. I'll bet the guy has like 3 or 4 chicks on the side that he's hitting. He just doesn't want to tell anybody. You think that's possible? That he has like 3 or 4 hot chicks he's dating?
No. That's not possible.
You said that with so much confidence. No.
But when you guys are out gigging, he gets hit on all the time.
He does, but he's absolutely terrified, I think.
I know women personally that have said, hook me up with a Frosty. What's going on with Frosty? And these are like, attractive women.
You were at the birthday bash, but Frosty came out on stage and he had his organ out there, and he started playing one of his original songs.
Yes.
And the ladies, there's like 3,000 people there, were just screaming, "We love you!" And I've seen it happen many times where he'll start playing the piano, and all these chicks are just in love with him, and he can go home with anybody he wants, and he goes home alone.
Oh, that's so depressing.
They're melting. They're melting, and he's like,
yeah.
All right.
Yeah, wow.
Well, the opposite of Frosty is a guy named Glenn Walker, ladies and gentlemen, from CBS
Glenn.
and KPAL. Glenn Walker.
He's got to beat the chicks off with a stick.
Yeah, nice to see you, man.
Good to see you.
Now, this guy is a complete stud. This guy is...
Different woman every night.
Oh, it's the same chick. You're engaged now, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you...
The Ross sister.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
Oh, look at you, man. All right, engaged.
Your old classmate.
Geez, this guy gets out of one marriage, and you think, once you get burned, there's no way you're going to get back into it. That must be some great chick, man.
You went to high school with her, you know.
Right.
She was at the, a fake reunion about 2 weeks ago with your sister. So she spent most of the evening talking to your sister.
Yeah, at the, Sagebrush out there in the valley.
Yeah.
There was a reunion. Steve's going to call Frosty? Okay. All right, Steve, go ahead and call Frosty and put it on the air, though. And if you could hit line 7 or 8. Yeah, okay, here it is. We're going to call Frosty here. And Glenn Walker's joining us, folks, so come on by. And also Frank Kramer is with us, and Jeff from the John and Jeff Show. And we're going to try to call Frosty and see what he's up to. You think he answers?
I don't think he will.
A new segment called...
I hope he doesn't.
All right.
Like I said, his message is priceless.
What's
okay,
Frosty doing?
There we go. So lonely, isn't it?
It really is.
We're all waiting.
Do you think he's staring at the phone?
In a sad ring.
Hello.
Hey! Frosty, man. How are you, dude?
Hey, what's going on?
Hey, real quickly, I have to say this. Do we have permission to put you on 97.1 FM Talk?
Yeah, let me pick the phone up, though. Hold on. Yes, hello.
Hey, how are you, man?
Hey, is this Tim?
It's Tim and Frank and Jeff from the John and Jeff Show, and also Glenn Walker from Channel 9
Wow.
from CBS.
John and Jeff, what station are they on?
Man, it starts right away.
It does, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Hey, now, we want to know what's happening with you on a Friday night. What are you actually doing right now? When the phone rang, what were you doing?
I was going to bed.
Going to bed?
Well, it's past my bedtime. After Larry King, I'm pretty much spent.
What are you wearing?
What am I wearing right now? Let's see. I'm wearing, I'm not wearing anything. Because
I think I just puked in my mouth. Ooh.
I sleep kind of naked, so there's really nothing on me.
I see.
Yeah.
And what before you were about to put yourself to bed, what made up the evening for you? What'd you do tonight?
Well, I do my nightly prayer to Almighty Jesus to forgive me for my sins.
Right.
I stopped. I had a pizza, of course, earlier this evening.
Where'd you go for that?
I went to Pizza Hut.
Okay.
And what TV station is this you're talking? Which I watched him.
So you're treating yourself. What'd you get at Pizza Hut?
When?
What?
Oh, what? A large New Yorker pizza.
Did you finish it?
Well, of course I did. There's no such thing as a leftover in my house. I don't know what that concept is.
Did you eat it there, or did you take it home?
Well, I ate half of it on the way home, and then when I got home, the last piece or two. Yeah.
That's always a real messy drive home.
Yeah.
So how's that work in with the Jenny Craig being delivered to your house? Is that part of that?
I'm kind of embarrassed because here it is, the time of the year we're supposed to think about people who don't have enough to eat and who go hungry. And I'm thinking, I can't remember the last time I was hungry.
How about Frosty today? You were in the studio when he sang that song, Frank.
Oh.
What was that like?
Oh, that was kind of cool, actually.
What was the song?
I don't remember. I've had a couple beers since then.
Well, yeah, it was great because we were sitting there, and Frosty's so damn talented. I'm only saying that because you're not here.
Oh, I know.
Is that you put him on the spot, Leo. You basically said, could you do a song about Stuff a Truck? And so he turns around to his organ, starts playing with it, and ended up being magnificent. I was hoping someone would have it tonight.
What time
so
was that?
Maybe
Maybe we can isolate it.
Toward the end, I think the last break of the show you guys called in?
Yeah, it was just before 2, and isn't it amazing that 8 hours later I'm still playing with my organ?
Now, Frosty, did you masturbate tonight?
Not yet, Tim, but as soon as I hang up, I'll replay this call, and whenever you speak, I probably will lose all control.
Hey, you're like me,
the
then.
last slice for masturbation in bed.
How many slices are in a large?
I couldn't tell you because I sort of stack them up. For me, there's 4 slices, but I think there may actually be 8 or 12. I'm not really sure.
Wait, what was that? 12 slices in a large from Randy Way. Yeah.
Not the way I fold it, man.
Are you standing now naked, or are you sitting down?
Oh, I'm actually standing. I'm walking around. I actually just put my shorts on because I felt weird standing here talking to you naked. That's just...
Who wants Frosty to take his shorts back off?
No.
Yes! Now, like a good stripper, do you carry around a towel when you're nude and then put the towel down on the furniture?
Yes, it's a very large towel. It's like a beach towel because, I got a lot of real estate to cover. Yeah. It says IGA in the middle. It's a long story. Or does it say, no, this one says Sheraton Inn.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Where's Rudy Dog right now?
He's laying on the floor on his back, with his legs open. He sleeps next to the fan with his legs open, so the wind caresses his body. So.
Will you lay down next to him and spoon him live on the radio?
Well, now that my pants are on, I don't think that I would do that.
The only downside to sleeping like that is you fart and instantly smell it.
This is true.
Guy sitting with his ass in the fan.
That's true, Tim. Plus, of course, the bed bugs bite you a lot easier.
Well, it sounds pretty exciting over at the house.
It's just another wild and crazy Friday night, and gee, I just don't know how I'll be able to top this tomorrow night for Saturday night.
What's the plan tomorrow? Domino's?
Let's see, IHOP in the morning, then I'll take a nap, and then I'll head over to Jerry's Deli for lunch, come home, nap. I may catch Larry King at 6, and I'll eat dinner somewhere, and then probably turn in by 8.
Jesus Christ. Sounds like a real great singles ad.
Before we let Frosty go and move on, I want to everyone to know that Frosty donated $10,000.
Wow.
To the Smart and Final.
Are you kidding me?
Wow.
Yeah, he's kidding you.
No, I'm not.
Thanks to the stock market, I don't have $10,000 to my name. So
I was kind of committing him. He never said that. I just said that.
10,000. That's great, man.
I said it's done.
I already ordered the food.
Hey, Frosty, between you and I, and there's only you and I now listening.
Right, I know. Yes, I've seen the ratings.
Did you eat more today than you donated?
Well, I'll tell you what I'll donate. I'll donate all my CBS stock options.
Fund the future?
Yes, all 22,000 Fund the Future CBS stock options, which now, let me check here, have a value of $14.07. You can have those.
Listen, that sounds like another pizza.
I've got some cream corn and lima beans and stuff like that in the pantry. Maybe I'll send those over tonight so you can give them to the starving.
Oh, thank you very much.
Right.
All right, Frosty, thanks for coming on. You're always a great sport to come on with us.
Was amazing, absolutely amazing, and my pleasure. And I'm going straight to bed.
All right.
See you Monday.
All right,
Good night,
don't
young
ever call
man.
me this late. It just ruins my whole schedule now.
I was
never get to sleep.
hoping to get your message because you have that pathetic message.
Well, if you want, I'll hang up and you can call it back.
All right, let's do that.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Let's. All right, take care, Frosty.
Later. My phone ringing 2 times in one night. That's never happened before.
Okay.
Okay. Good night, everyone.
And remember, we're calling you back, so don't pick it up.
Oh, how exciting.
Okay. All right, very good. All right, let's hang up and then call Frosty back and listen to his message. Has he changed it in quite some time? It's been a message for a while.
Well, I never call him.
Oh, you don't?
No, I called him the other day for something. I forget what it was, and I heard his message, and it's just so sad. And so I started laughing when the beep beep. I'm like, oh, you suck, and I hung up. I totally forgot why I was calling. Then I called Heidi right away. I'm like, you got to call Frosty and listen to his. Here it is.
All right.
Listen to his message. It'll probably ring about 4 times. Heidi's with the Italian right now. It's her birthday, so I'm sure she's...
Is that right?
Yeah.
Oh, happy birthday.
Putting on the birthday meat mask.
Well, I'll be darned. So that's what the ringer sounds like. Huh. Didn't think this phone worked. This is Frosty, so you've probably called me by mistake. But if it is a miraculous occurrence that you're actually calling to leave me a message, thank you. Take your time after the beep. Your message will be first in line because no one ever calls, and I'll get your message as soon as I get home. It'll be the first thing I hear when I walk in the door. Well, that and the lonely silence.
Great, man.
Good stuff. We're all coming over, Frosty. We're moving this party to Frosty's house.
There seems to be some truth in that message, though.
Wow.
Oh, Jesus. All right, Frank Kramer is with us, Jeff from the John and Jeff Show, and also Glenn Walker from Channel 9 and CBS, everybody. It is the Tim Conway Jr. Show. We're live at 97.1 FM Talk.
FM Talk.
All right, welcome back, everybody. It is the Tim Conway Jr. Show live at 97.1 FM Talk. And we are at Smart and Final on Pico between the 405 and Sepulveda. And come on now, we'll be here at 11 o'clock. Then John and Jeff will be here all day tomorrow with Leo Quinones, the film freak. Frank Kramer's with us, everybody.
Let's hear it.
And also Glenn Walker from Channel 9, Channel 2.
Give it up for Glenn.
Now, I live in the San Fernando Valley. You live in the valley?
We're in the same neighborhood.
Same neighborhood.
Remember?
Oh, excellent. Yeah, that's right. You live in... well, I didn't want to tell everybody where you live. But I was out at... all the fires were burning. You know, the Silmar was on fire.
Oh.
And I drive from my house to the Costco on Roscoe and Tampa, right there.
Yeah, that's my Costco, too.
Is that right?
Yeah.
And I arrived there, and I can't see because all these the soot and the ash and everything's getting my eyes, and I barely get into Costco. And I get in there. It's packed, of course, because nobody cares. And I see these HEPA filters that clean out, to clean the air and take all the crap out of the air. So I buy one. They're like $60 or so. And I stand there, and I look at them, and I stare at them, and I'm there for 5, 10, 15 minutes, and everybody walks by them. I'm like, folks, you can't see when you go to your car, and yet this isn't something you're buying? What are we buying here?
What are
we buying?
You wear that on your head?
No, it's in your house it operates. It takes all
That's
this...
why they're not buying it. They get carried in their car. Everything's sucked in around them.
I was...
It's a helmet.
My wife was inside with my daughter, and I'm outside smoking. A guy comes by. Not enough smoke in the air for you. Yeah, please. Jesus Christ. But that was rough. I mean, obviously you live in the valley, too. Yeah. And you've had fires closer to you than this one.
Very close.
But I've never seen so much smoke from a fire in my life. I mean, this Silmar fire was unbelievable.
I got to call at 5 in the morning to come into work. And I didn't know what was going on because I had the kids who were watching videos the night before.
Right.
Phone rings at 5 in the morning. Hey, you need you to come in and anchor at 8 in the morning. My normal shift, I go in at, like 4 on Saturday. I'm like, what? I said, yeah, turn on the television. Silmar's on fire.
Oh, Bubbo.
And I looked out in the backyard, and, man, it was just...
What were you wearing?
What was I wearing? Kind of the same thing Frosty.
I love the...
But unlike Frosty, I was not alone.
I had
one of the Ross sisters with me.
Now, have they ever called you to come in on an emergency and you were bombed? And you couldn't do it?
When I used to do sports, I was in Buffalo.
Right.
And this was the day that... Remember that big three-way trade between the Rams, the Bills, and the Colts when Eric Dickerson ended up with the Colts?
Yeah.
Well, the Bills got Cornelius Bennett, who'd been drafted by the Colts, like first or second pick in the draft. They couldn't make a deal with him, so what they did is they had this big three-way trade, and Cornelius Bennett ends up in Buffalo, and they'd also drafted Shane Conlon. So suddenly they got the two best linebackers in college football the year before playing for the Bills. A friend of mine's in town. We played a Sandlot football game and went somewhere and we went through a case of beer. And they go, hey, you got to come in, man, and anchor the 6 o'clock sports because I knew you had a dump button. That's the only reason I said it. So anyway,
hopefully it's working tonight.
So I go in and I'm like, my head was spinning, and I said,
wait, hold on 1 second. Steve went to the bathroom.
Oh, great.
When will he be back? In 5 minutes?
Yeah, great. Les Boone is online, too.
Walker. Glenn.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
So it was like one of those, Bill's part of a big three-way trade today. Let's go out to Brian Blessing out at Rich Stadium. But I got through and I went home, and
Do you still have the tape of it?
No.
Oh, that'd been fun to watch.
Yeah.
He vomits on himself. I
was always pretty good in high school, though, going home after being out with the boys, underage drinking and talking politics with my parents.
Is that right?
My mother was pretty astute, and I said, you didn't realize I'd been out and had about 6 or 7 issues. I didn't have a clue. You're a pretty good actor.
Wow. Is that right?
And it was hard to get one past her.
Yeah, my dad, it was impossible.
She was so high, she couldn't tell anything at that point, right?
Right. But I couldn't get anything past my dad. I remember taking a couple of aspirin out of his medicine cabinet and taking him in his bathroom. And he comes and he goes, what are you doing? I said, I'm taking aspirin. He goes, are you sure they're aspirin? I said, well, it came from your medicine cabinet, and it said aspirin on the bottle. I don't know what it was. I'm assuming it was aspirin. He goes, well, you can never be too sure. And I said, wait a minute. I said, in this instance, you could be too sure. If I'm doing drugs, I'm not doing them in your bathroom with you standing next to me, right? I'm doing them in somebody's guest house, in Rob Reiner's daughter's guest house or something.
You totally took that the wrong way. It's his cabinet. He keeps his pills in the aspirin bottle. It says, "Are you sure those are aspirin?"
Yeah,
because you can't be too careful around here.
My dad was very strict, man, when it came to drugs. If he caught you doing like pot or coke or anything, it was rehab, live-in rehab for 3 months. So, and 2 of my brothers went that route. Unfortunately, I was like the Artful Dodger. I really knew how to skate.
You get caught and blame your brother, and he'd go.
Yeah, exactly. I never got caught for that. I never really got caught, by my parents for drugs or drinking anything like that. You ever get caught doing
that? Yeah.
Did your ass kicked?
I didn't get my ass kicked, but in Indiana, in the winter when it's snowing and there's a blizzard out, everyone goes and gets drunk because it's the best time to drink and drive because no one can tell that you're swerving because there's ice everywhere. So yeah, you end up in a ditch or
you gotta swerve anyway.
I wrecked in the yard. I was almost home, all the way home. Yeah, took the corner and wrecked in the yard. So my parents had to come outside, and I was just hammered. Man. So, but luckily I wrecked in my own yard.
There was a guy that used to work for the Corolla show, and I'm not going to mention his name because I don't know if he told the story on the air. But he got really bombed in Northern California and drove his car into a ditch. So he calls 911 and says, I need to have my car towed out of here because I just, threw it into a ditch. And the lady said, this is not the towing service. And he hangs up on her, right? They figure out where the call comes from, and the cops go out and arrest him for drunk driving. The only guy ever to call the cops on himself and get nailed for drunk driving.
That's a classic.
I mean, how stupid you have to be.
Oh.
But I remember, in high school drinking and, getting home and then saying to a friend of mine, hey, can you, pick me up and take me to the party last night because I left my car there. And walking out the yard and my car was in the yard. And not having, no idea how I drove home, But that's when you're, 19, 20 and really stupid.
Yeah, I woke up, my car was gone. It was at the 7-Eleven around the corner, and I don't know how I got there.
I used to go to the
those guys who get so drunk they wake up, it's not even their house. Did Robert Downey Jr. call in somebody's house in the bed one time?
Oh, yeah, right, yeah.
In the news where people
slid right into bed.
Get out of my bed.
He crawls in bed with
the hell are you? Oh, it's Robert Downey Jr.
This is the lowest end move I've ever seen. When I was younger, before I was driving, I used to take the RTD out to Santa Anita to bed at the racetrack. And out there, lost all day, getting the bus to drive back from Santa Anita back to the San Fernando Valley. And about halfway back, a guy stands up and he goes, oh, F, God damn it, I drove today. What a loser. Loses at the track all day and then takes a bus halfway home and goes, God damn it, I forgot I drove today. All right, folks, if you want to come down to Smart and Final, Glenn Walker is here. He'll sign autographs and do anything you like, take pictures. Also, Frank Kramer agreed to do the same thing, Jeff from the John and Jeff Show. And we got to take a small break. We'll come back. It is, we're live right here at Smart and Final on Pico and 405. And it is the Tim Conway Jr. Show on 97.1 FM Talk.
.1 FM Talk.
All right, welcome back, everybody. It is the Tim Conway Jr. Show live on 97.1 FM Talk, and we have to thank all the people who have made this all possible. Of course, Frank Kramer staying all evening. Glenn Walker's with us. Jeff from the John and Jeff Show. Also like to thank John. And here with the official thank yous for everybody tonight, the very lovely Gina Grad. Woo!
Thank you very much.
Who we thanking tonight, Miss Grad?
We are thanking everybody. Tim, Arsenio Hall, Frank
Yes!
Kramer. Woo! Frank Kramer, Leo Quinones, John Boyle, Jeff Carroll, Christina McCarty, Paul Majors, Mike Nelson, Glenn Walker, Scott Ramsey, Steve Paylett, Ariza Luz, Adam Akadocious, the whole Careless X Street team, Randy Wang, Smart and Final, Oswaldo Castillo, Gahal Kerr, Mike Olson, Shotgun Tom Kelly, K Earth 101, Frosty Stillwell, Sam Marino, KFWB and the Wave Street Team, Detective Rudy, Lieutenant Andy, the Buster Balloon Man, who is amazing, Evan and Eddie from Smart and Final, KCal, Channel 2, and, of course, Tim Conway Jr.
Thanks.
There you go.
Gina Grad, everybody. Look at her, man. All right, we're out at Smart and Final, and if you want to come by this weekend, you can. Jeff, you're going to be out here what time tomorrow?
11 o'clock.
11 a.m. till 11 p.m.?
Until Leo concludes his show.
Yeah. All right.
That's
Leo.
right.
Leo will be out here doing his show live from 8 to 10.
8 o'clock, yeah.
And I'm sure it's going to be a great show. He always has a lot of great guests and gives away movie passes and stuff.
It's going to be the Twilight versus Bolt episode.
So come on out, folks, and please try to donate if you can. If you can't, I understand what the hell. All right, Glenn Walker's with us. What was the leading story tonight, my brother? Were you working tonight?
No, I was off.
Oh, you were off tonight?
No,
Wait a minute.
I was off.
All right. Yeah, I think it's working. Yeah, it's on you. Okay.
No, I had to take my my 12-year-old daughter to the annual St. James Catholic School father-daughter dance.
Oh, is that right? I'm not looking forward to that with my daughter.
Get lucky? I'm sorry. It was right there. I had to take it.
As a matter of fact, I did because my friend Greg Hawkes brought a little Bacardi to put into the Coke.
Oh, yeah. You got to
fantastic.
take that to those days.
Because, you walk, when they're 12, you walk in the door, and it's like, see you, Dad.
But, that didn't happen when I was a kid. I never had, mother-son dances or daddy-daughter or any of that crap. And I don't want to do that with my daughter when she's 12.
You're going to have to.
Have you done it, or
I've done it.
You've done it?
Yeah, she made me put on the tuxedo. We went all out.
Right. Did you tell her to sing it, bitch?
Oh, yeah, that's a great story.
You got to tell Glenn this story, man. That's a great story.
Playing the game Rock Band. You familiar?
Sure,
The drums and the microphone. And so my daughter's on the guitar. I'm on the drums. And we're having a difficulty level where, the meters start dropping and you're starting to fail and the band's going out. And her friend is on the singing. And the microphone's just dropping and dropping and dropping. And I've had a few. And I'm playing my ass off on the drums and keeping up. And there's the microphone dropping and dropping and dropping. And from nowhere, I'm just like, sing it, bitch! It was like my daughter's friend.
And how old was she?
They're 11 years old. This is the girl spending the night. Let me go home and tell her. So how was the night, honey, at Frank's Cassidy's house? He called me a bitch. I was like, oh, I'm just kidding.
He yelled at me, sing it, bitch.
I was really into the game. I wanted to win.
We were also talking one night about different crap that you had eaten, sort of accidentally. And Frank called us up. I don't even know it was you that night when you called up.
I didn't say it was me.
He said that he was eating a steak one night. Was it steak?
Yeah, steak.
And a piece of it fell on the ground?
Well, no. I thought it was a piece of steak that was on the ground.
Right.
But it was just dirt from my shoe.
Picks it up and eats it.
I know. The topic was, when did you know that you were a fat pig? And I was like, when I picked up a piece of dirt from the ground thinking it was meat, and I ate it.
Did it taste good?
Oh, no. It was dirt.
Oh, man. I was watching the news earlier today. I'm like a news junkie. I probably watch more of it than you do because I'm on it all day long. I watch KCAL, and KCAL does something really unusual. No other station does it. But what they'll do is they'll have the live helicopter feed where you can watch these guys flying around live, covering the fires and, the scaffolding that busted up in Northridge today. And
that was the big story.
Yeah, that was a great big story. And also there was a lockdown at a prison near the Coliseum. What was it? What was it? Manual Arts prison was locked down. And what?
Yeah, the LAUSD has quite a few of those.
Well, they're all prisons.
Yeah.
I mean, whether they're in the Valley or in downtown LA, LAUSD high schools they're prisons. I mean, they're surrounded by, barbed wire. You have to have a metal detector to go in and out. You can't just walk onto the campus without a pass or anything. It's like a prison. They're holding those kids for 3 years until they go out and, into life. But to watch these guys fly around, into a real prison. But to watch these guys fly around and cover this is unbelievable. You watch the live feed and you hear these guys talking. Mostly the guys are, they got to take a leak. They had too much water or too much, coffee when I was on the ground. But to watch these guys fly around in the fire was unbelievable because they're fighting 70-mile-an-hour winds, and you can actually, see the helicopter. And you hope it doesn't happen, but you're watching it live, and it could. Right? It could
the guy that
fall into the fire.
More than anybody is Larry Welk. That guy, that's Lawrence Welk's grandson, by the way.
Right.
Anyway, this guy gets up in that chopper. He's flying it, and another guy's doing the camera, and Larry's describing it and fighting the 70-mile-an-hour winds. And that guy, I swear, he could go for 20 straight minutes and not without shutting up. He's amazing, which is great if you're sitting on the anchor desk because you throw it up to Larry and it's like, okay, now I can go to the restroom.
Yeah, no, he's great. When you remember, this is probably about 10 years ago, there was a firefighting helicopter that was carrying some kid to a hospital, and it crashed right around the LA Zoo area, and a couple of people on board died. Well, about a year after that, they called us up when I was with Malibu Dan and Steckler and said, you guys want to take a ride in one of these helicopters that the fire department flies around? We said, yeah, we'd love to. So we get there, and there's only enough headphones for 4 people. So Malibu Dan doesn't have a headphone, right? So he's just sitting there in the helicopter like a child in the back with no headphone and no microphone. And the pilot says to us, this is about where it happened. And I said, well, what happened? And he says, well, let me show you. And he shut down the rear rudder, and it started spinning around and circling, right? Malibu Dan has no idea that the guy says, I'm just going to show you what happened, and he's flipping out. He comes up and he grabs and goes, we're crashing!
Where's the parachute? He jacked.
Somebody forgot to tell Malibu Dan. He's just showing us what happened.
His life flashes before him.
Yeah, but I don't know why he's so panicked. I mean, the life that flashes before him could take 8 seconds. It's like, that's a bong, that's a weed plant, that's your bird.
Wait, the lifted truck.
That's your car, your Hot Wheels collection. There's your tombstone.
Does he still have that Hot Wheels collection?
Yeah. Now this guy has a Hot Wheels collection that's worth $25,000. Right?
Wow.
He's had it for years and years, and he had an opportunity to buy a house back in 2001 when the values were just going up, and his dad said, "Why don't you sell the Hot Wheels collection and buy yourself a house?" And he said, "Nah, I want to keep the Hot Wheels collection." And he did. And he didn't get a house, and it would have been, worth 3 times more right now, or maybe now twice as much. But he loves his Hot Wheel collections, man.
And they're all still in the cases?
They're all still in the cases. I mean, it's protected like Fort Knox. But he has thousands and thousands of cars. I don't think there's a car out that he doesn't have. I mean,
I think there's a room you cannot go into. It's filled. I mean, you can't walk into it, right?
Yeah, it's absolutely filled. Yeah, and he spends his money on on cars and weed. That's what he loves to do. And I remember going to his house one day, and I knocked on the door, and he said, "Who is it?" And I said, "It's LAPD." Right, but I just said it in my voice. I go, "Yeah, it's LAPD." and the pots and the scrambling going on inside with him and his wife.
Find the bomb!
Yeah, I mean, and they didn't open the door for 10 minutes.
Put the weed on the sofa!
Yeah, and they finally opened the door and they go, oh, it's just
hey, buddies.
You wouldn't believe it. The LAPD was just here.
Yeah. And I said, Dan, when the LAPD comes and they say it's LAPD and you take 10 minutes to open the door, you think they're just going to stand out there? You don't think they're coming in, huh? He goes, oh, dude, I knew that. Listen, I'm so happy it was you. Why don't you sit down? So I'm sitting down on his couch, and then I pop up and I remember, I go, oh, no. He has told me that he loves to have sex with his wife on the couch, and they don't put anything on the couch. So now I can't sit anywhere in the guy's place, because it's like, two rabbits. These guys are banging around everywhere. So I'm looking around, and every couch, every chair is stained.
Really?
And I'm thinking, is that food? Is it food? I didn't take a chance. So the whole night, him and Sarah just sit down, just standing, drinking a beer. Yeah, no, it's cool.
It's like a CSI crime scene. You want to take out yellow tape and mark things off.
Oh, I missed that, dude. All right, folks, we got to get out of here. But before we go, we'd like to thank all of you folks for showing up here. Really appreciate it, man. And thanks for the donations. Leo Quinones here. What was the final with the donations here tonight? You got to let me grab your microphone here, my brother. Here you go.
Looking at those two Miller Lite trucks over there, I say we're about 60% there. We're on the way, and we're not leaving until Sunday night. So come on down.
You're going to be here Sunday night?
We're going to be here Sunday as well, all day. So if you can't make it out here, 971fmtalk.com. And I know Frank's going to bid high on the Toby Keith guitar. You better.
Yeah, big Toby Keith fan.
You're an ass kicker, aren't you?
Who's Toby Keith?
I have no idea.
Thanks, Timmy. I mean, we've been doing this for 10 years, and we've been trying to get Tim out here, and finally Jack Silver said, yeah, and it made all the difference in the world, and we're going to cream 100,000 pounds, you guys. So happy Thanksgiving, everybody.
All right. Now, to clear that up, it's not like they've been trying to – I've been out here for 10 years. We just have not done a live remote. It's not like I'm some cheap F in the valley who's never showed up here. But, yeah, I've been coming by and donating food, just we haven't done a live remote. All right, thank you very much, Leo. All right, folks, but come out tomorrow. Leo's going to do a show live. John and Jeff will be out here all day.
Yeah.
And then they'll be here all the way through Sunday. And don't forget to watch Paul Majors at 11 o'clock on Channel 2. We got to thank him for coming out. And, again, thank you very much. Hope you guys got enough food. And we'll see you Monday right after the Tom Leykis show. It is the Tim Conway Jr. Show live at 97.1 FM Talk.
No, I called him the other day for something. I forget what it was, and I heard his message, and it's just so sad. So I started laughing when the beep, beep. I'm like, oh, you suck. And I hung up. I totally forgot why I was calling. Then I called Heidi right away. I'm like, you got to call Frosty and listen to his. Oh, here it is.
All right.
Listen to his message. It'll probably ring about 4 times. Heidi's with the Italian right now. It's her birthday, so I'm sure she's.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Oh, happy birthday.
Putting on the birthday meat mask.
Well, I'll be darned. So that's what the ringer sounds like. Huh. Didn't think this phone worked. This is Frosty, so you've probably called me by mistake. But if it is a miraculous occurrence that you're actually calling to leave me a message, thank you. Take your time after the beep. Your message will be first in line because no one ever calls, and I'll get your message as soon as I get home. It'll be the first thing I hear when I walk in the door. Well, that and the lonely silence.
FM Talk. Get complete shows from Adam Carolla, Frosty, Heidi, and Frank, Danny Bonaducci, Tom Leykis, and more. Just go to 971fmtalk.com and subscribe with iTunes.